Hello, everybody, and welcome back to 48-Hour Art Check round 109, where I'm back. I've been gone for 2 weeks, but here I am. And it's on a Monday. Yes, we switched back to Monday, Wednesday. We switched to Tuesday, Thursday simply because of my Walmart schedule. I don't work at Walmart anymore. What's up, Emily?
I forgot. I thought today was Tuesday.
Nope, it's Monday.
Today. I was like, it's so weird. I usually have so much time before.
No, today, we're switching back to Monday, Wednesday. It just makes a lot more sense for my schedule because I'm in class until 6:30 on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Jacob has off of work on Thursdays, so art check on Thursdays just probably wasn't really going to happen. So we switched it to Monday, Wednesday. But we're back. I was looking at them today, by the way, everybody, and I was like, I never thought that this would go this far. Like, I was looking at just, like, the amount of YouTube videos on my channel.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah. Anyways, without further ado, last art check, which for me was a hot minute ago. Kylie, I see you currently, like, messing with something, so I'm going to have Emily go.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
You're good.
I'm working. Always.
Kayla, I told Kylie about this, but I don't think I told you about this. I'm working on an animation now with Kerr.
Oh.
So I'm doing the backgrounds. So this is a background that I showed last week. And I'm slowly adding more green to it. Like the desert scene is gonna like be bombarded with stuff and then turn like lush. So
Okay.
but I have to add stuff in layers. So that's why it's not just like all there. I have to think about like timing and what stuff I want to show up when. And so it's like, it's more complicated than just drawing it all out. So that one makes my brain hurt sometimes. So I've been hopping around other things. I've got some pebbles down here that were kind of just a test because I wanted to see how I wanted to give them to Kerr and be like, do you like these? How do they work? And like, how about the layers and stuff like that? So I just made a few of them so that I can make it done the right way later. This is just a sketch for a different scene. And this one was like, for me, I was like, this isn't complicated. So I'm going to sit down and do this one. And I already know what the desert looks like. I know what the colors for my green stuff is going to be. So let's just like knock this one out. And I'm like almost done with this one. Yeah, that's kind of like the bigger developments. I've been working on tiny stuff here and there with all of this, but this was the most like show worthy things. So yeah, that's what I did.
Sweet. I remember, like, as you were talking about it, I was like, I think I remember her saying something.
Yeah.
But it was, I wouldn't have remembered, but that looks awesome.
Thanks.
Kylie, I'm just going to hit add to stream.
Thanks. So I took these photos on Sunday of my sister-in-law and nieces and nephews. They're these really cute little family photos that I'm really, really excited to get to her. She is literally so excited to see them. And so I've been editing those just this afternoon because I just got back into town. And then also I talked about this last art check. You're going to see some of my unedited photos as I scroll because I want to show you guys okay, here they are. So I also did these pictures of the Jesus print that I gifted my mom for Christmas. And I tried to get different angles so that I can make sure that no one can like just screenshot it, you know? So this is so I can add it to my Instagram or my Etsy shop and have it so people won't be able to just steal my artwork, but it'll still show like almost like a nice little mock-up. So anyway, I got those done. And so that's really exciting. I'm excited I still have to edit those and add them to my Etsy shop. I still didn't create a new Etsy shop or anything like that, but at least I did those things. And then that's pretty much it. I'm still way behind on my embroidery, like worse than last time. So
it'll be a fun catch up when you do.
Yeah,
it will be. after I finish my job, because this week is going to be crazy.
Yeah. It'll give you something to do though.
Mm-hmm.
For me, you guys showed my finished case study, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did that. That was nuts. The process behind that, by the way, was I did a whole case study, showed you guys the draft. I think it got shown on here as well. And then I went into his office hours, and he was like, you could definitely like do a bunch of this stuff, and like sent me like a 10-minute video. And then I went into his office hours, and at the end of it I was like, I don't care, this is the worst week ever, I'm just gonna turn it in. And that's like, it was pretty fun, but I don't know, I thought it was a pretty cool thing, but that took up a lot of time. And then I didn't touch anything for a week, which was rough. Well, I guess that's challenges, I'm not used to that. So the day I got back, I was like, I got to do something. And so this semester, my goal is to do 18 days of mock-ups if Corey Kerr approves it, which I find out tomorrow.
That'll be cool though, because you've made really good mock-ups.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
really good at that.
And you should open a mock-up
and it
store.
also, yeah, I was gonna say you
if-
can make money.
If this gets approved, I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. I've also thought about gifting them to the professors, so this way they can like
Oh,
what?
yeah.
So
That's
this way they
great.
well yeah, so this way they so this way if somebody like needs a mock-up or whatever,
Mhm.
and it's like, oh hey, like you're doing stickers for 305, you know, this here's an example of a mock-up or something. I don't know if my stuff is good enough to be class examples, but if they like it, then
Well,
you know.
What about this? What about if you want to do that? I vote. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a little bit glitchy,
Okay,
but we can
my Wi-Fi's being, yeah, my Wi-Fi's being a little funky. I vote if you do class examples, you also do a shop, and maybe you like give them to the professors, give them permission to use the mock-ups, and give them to students that are in like need, but you still sell them because then
Yeah.
you can still make money off of them, and you know.
You could literally
Yeah.
include a layer that they can
I
hide
vote.
that says like more mock-ups at this website.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
And then they like, it's like a freemium of like, oh, but
Yeah.
I did get mock-ups from this one thing, and I still have it around. Maybe she has more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be different
Ooh.
types too. So this is a list, I think, of 38. Oh, yikes! I'm so sorry. Of 38 different mock-up ideas.
Oh.
So I could do a mug, a magnet, a shirt, an embroidered shirt. So like the one that I'm wearing right now isn't embroidered,
Mhm.
but it looks like it is. And so I want to learn how to do something like this with somebody's stuff and make it look like a shirt is embroidered.
That'd be cool.
A book, another sketches one, because the sketches one was pretty fun, and I think I was pretty successful at that one. A phone case, a hoodie, where like the hood is covering it, because like partial obscurity I think would be fun.
Mm.
An Apple Watch face, like just learning how like a sketch can go on a Post-it note on a computer, a bunch of stuff like that. A jersey, a flag. So that was a whole thing. And then Kylie took a picture of me and Jacob at our wedding,
Mhm.
and it's really pretty. And this is the picture. I promise, like, my whole art check isn't just going to be about me and my husband now, I swear.
It
You
should be,
just
though, let's
came
be
back from
honest.
your honeymoon.
Yeah.
I think it's warranted.
And so I'm going to make it a faceless illustration.
Yeah.
Cute.
I should have
That's
asked your
so
permission for
cute.
that, Kylie. My bad.
You got it. Go for
Thanks.
it.
Sorry. As I was doing it, I was like, crap. Like, as I was showing it. You gave me the picture, and so I assumed it was okay, but
Yeah, don't worry. It was a crappy photo I took on my cell phone and edited a little.
everybody,
so-
yeah, no, everybody's obsessed with it. And I was like,
Oh, I'm so glad.
We had
Yeah,
a perfect
Jacob loves it.
angle. I
Did you
should have
guys?
sent you one because it's like I have one
I
where
have like
it's
a video too.
long
I
one
should
and
send
it's
you all the
framed
photos I have.
by all the people looking in. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I'll send
But-
some to you right now.
yes, send
We'll
them
send you one.
send them over. But Yeah. So I just thought that he would like that. And he could like update like his profile picture because he's weird about social media, but I know he would. He loves the faceless illustrations that I do. One of like the first one that I ever did of us is still his laptop background, and that faceless illustration is crappy because it was my first time ever doing it. But he is obsessed with them. So, anyways, I'm like curious now, but it'll.
Cute, Emily.
Yeah.
Did you send it
It's
in the
not
art chat group
edited.
chat?
It's not edited either. No filter.
Oh, here's my wedding,
Cute,
everybody.
I love it.
With that,
It was
we'll go to
so sweet.
challenges. We'll go to challenges. My challenge was
You didn't
finishing
have
planning a wedding.
It was a happy challenge.
It was a happy challenge. It was finishing
Yeah.
planning a wedding, reception, and then going to Vegas.
Yeah.
But actually, what was like a legit challenge for me is while I was on my honeymoon, we brought the PlayStation because of course we would. And so there was like one time where we just like sat there playing video games and he was like playing games on his laptop and I was playing Spider-Man. And like while like my mind was wandering playing video games, I was like, I could totally be working on like my 18 days or something right now. And I was like, no. Like, I'm literally not allowed to do this. And so I like came up with all of these ideas for like mock-ups and I didn't even let myself write them down. And so that was like a weird, I don't know. I don't like feeling non-productive. And so, and then the new semester, which you guys don't ever have to deal with anymore. So
Nope.
the new semester, taking 12 credits during 462. So, but no job.
Man.
At least there's no job.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, but I got offered a job. And I get it in July. It's a weird thing. I'll talk to you guys about it after because I actually need a recommendation for somebody to take the job until July.
Mm-hmm.
They need like a style guide and just somebody to create some content. Anyways, it's like a salaried thing, which I've gotten. I changed it on accident. I meant to. But anyways, somebody else. Challenges.
I'll say my challenge, I am distracting myself with this animation because my secret project occupies my brainwaves like all the time.
All the time.
And I'm distracting myself with that, which is a good sign that I'm going to commit to it over the years that it will take for me to finish it. But like, I desperately, I'm like, Emily, if you finish this sooner, you can get back to it, which is a weird thing to have for this like really good opportunity animation, well-paying gig. It's a very weird feeling because I do want to do it. It's not that I don't want to do it. Like I'm really excited to be doing it. I love how the art is looking. Kurt's really cool and he's really easy to work with. So like, but I am distracting myself of like, why am I not working on that? So it's actually like a challenge of like there's this other itch that won't shut up.
Oh.
So
that is good though, because like I remember you like when you hadn't even told Kylie about it, like it was like baby brain.
It was a secret because I wanted a door out.
Well, yeah, exactly. It was a secret because you wanted a door out. And so now and I remember you specifically saying that. You're like, you can't tell anybody because I need like the escape
I don't want people
thing.
to be like, oh, that thing you were going to work on, where is it? And then I'll be like, yeah, I dropped it. I'm not going to drop it now, but I'm still holding off on that because I'm going to announce it when there's something to show visually.
Yeah.
So that's still a long time. Sorry, guys. But yeah.
Kylie.
So what did I do last week? Oh, okay. I had a procedure. Not gonna show you guys because this channel isn't about free foot pics, but I had like A little minor procedure.
I'm telling you, when I get to 200, I swear, when we get to 200, I legitimately am gonna go through and I'm gonna cut all of the weird little things that we say into a montage. That will be the opener.
Of course. Yeah, I basically like, sorry if you guys are super grossed out by feet, but like to make it less like weird and obscure, I just have like ingrown toenails really bad. And so I had a procedure on one of them,
Dude, that
which
thing
I didn't
hurts.
know was happening. Yeah. So I got there Thursday because I thought it was going to be like my provider just referring me to a specialist, and I just needed to get in soon because I work as a counselor this summer. And I got there and I was waiting for the doctor to come in after the nurse checked me in, and then a different nurse brought in like a huge syringe and she's like, we just don't want you to come unnumb. And I was like, this is happening today. And like Brandon wasn't there, my husband, so I had my best friend's husband bring him there. But he got there after they did the numbing, which is the worst part because it's like
that's the part you feel.
Well, that thing burns too.
Guys, it hurts so bad. My foot is super bruised from the needle, like just from the numbing.
It's gotta be because like I've had like
because they cut it open.
Yeah, well, I know because Instagram, the algorithm on Discover is like, oh, you watched this one thing because it was terrible, but also very intriguing. Well, let's show you 20. Plus, I know exactly what happens. I've seen many videos of those. But like,
mine's not as bad as my little brother had the procedure done, I think 5 different times while on his mission in a third world country. And so it was a little more sketchy, and that's why he had to have it done so many times. And he unfortunately showed me videos of those procedures this weekend.
It's gotta be so bad because I've had like a mild ingrown toenail that I took care of at home, and it's just the pressure of having the ingrown toenail. It makes everything hurt.
Just makes everything hurt. And I've had them since I was a child. And Brandon, everyone keeps telling me to get it fixed. Like my mom, they're definitely genetic. Like everyone in my family basically has them. But it gets to the point, like when they're bad, I like can't wear socks because the like pressure of this elastic on the sock hurts. And it hurts to like shoes, like and things.
You've had that for years?
Yeah, I have it pretty much all my life, but like sometimes it's worse than others. Like right now, my other foot isn't too bad. But like if my husband accidentally bumps my foot, I'm like, oh my gosh, that hurts so bad. And he's like, Kylie, you need to get this fixed. And since I'm working at summer camp this year and you have to have your feet like tight in your tennis shoes, I'm like, I'm going, because I know from previous summer camp experience that it's awful when you have ingrown toenails. So anyway, I had that procedure done Thursday. Didn't know it was going to happen on Thursday. So I haven't been able to like wear a shoe on that foot.
I was about to say, you have golf ball toe.
Yeah.
But it's free. Does it hurt, but it's free now?
Yeah, totally. Like it doesn't hurt in the way an ingrown toenail hurts. It
doesn't hurt like
like
pressure anymore, but it doesn't
hole. Yeah, totally. And so I have a checkup coming up and I might have my other one done, which I'm kind of dreading. But this time Brandon will be there to hold my hand. But so that happened.
You've already been through it. It can't be
totally.
I know. And even if it's worse, it can't be that much worse.
Truthfully, after having my nose and sinus surgery this year, I'm like, it sucked. Like being numbed was awful, but it's not as bad as that freaking nose surgery that was so bad. And so I'm like, okay, it could be worse. Like I have something to compare it to. But anyway, that procedure happened on Thursday and I wasn't expecting it to happen Thursday. So like I was thinking Thursday and Friday I'd be able to get a lot done and I did not. I like whined in bed all day. And so there was that. And then this weekend I was out of town and I was with my sister-in-law and my family and my nieces and nephews. And so it was super, super busy. And so I like have had no time. And then today I had a funeral. And so I've like had no time to get anything done. And then moving forward, like with challenges, like I found out that my job, so I found out that the people I nanny for are moving a month earlier than they told me originally, which is like the end of this month, which is in like a week from, or it's like 2 weeks. No, it's a week from tomorrow or Wednesday or something that they're moving.
There's not much left though.
Yeah. And so I'm like, so I'm working like this week and then Monday and Tuesday. And since they're like packing and moving so last minute, I'm working a lot of hours. And so I have a lot I want to get done this week. A lot. Like I want to do my Etsy shop. I want to catch up on embroidery. I want to get these photos edited, which hopefully I'll be able to get that. But like there's so many things I want to do. I want to work on my sticker idea, but since I'll be working super long hours at a pretty draining job for like tomorrow through Saturday, I get Sunday off, and then Monday and Tuesday, it'll be really hard to get anything done just because it's going to be a lot of hours. And yeah. So that's been stressful. So those are my challenges.
Next art check.
Me?
Sure. I blanked on how to host this. It's been 2 weeks. It's like the Men in Black, you guys just like wiped me after like the last one that we did when we were all in person. You guys just
vacations do that. Yeah, was your last one the game night?
Yes.
So weird.
Yeah.
This time I need to work on the end. I'm gonna work on a ton tomorrow. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. I don't know how far I'm gonna get or like what specifically I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna be working on a lot of things at the same time, so I can't like definitively say that I'll accomplish a specific thing. Maybe the twig and leaf one that was like mostly done will be fully done because I just need to draw like a couple versions of that leaf and some like assets that go on top of it, but it shouldn't be too complicated. I was planning on doing it tonight, and then I was like, how is it 7:30 already? So it's because I leave work at 6. That's how that happened. But I just didn't think about it because I thought today was Tuesday, and I don't know. Anyways, that's what I'm going to be doing.
Okay, I'll go next because I also have a color question. Is this green? Is that slightly green?
No idea. It looks like
I'm going to screenshot it and send it to you.
It's a screen cap.
I was going to say screenshot it.
I don't think that it's the color that I'm intending for. It looks kind of green to me, but I know that browns also don't show up right. This faceless illustration will definitely be done. And I want to get started on my sketches for my 18 days. So like start sketching some mock-ups and stuff. That is contingent upon it getting approved. Because I have to fill a whole sketchbook.
Yeah. Dang.
And so I have to fill the whole thing. So I want to get going on that. And then I had to come up with group project ideas. And that's a whole thing. But
don't do a children's book.
I know. I was right there with you. We were the project managers.
Yeah, I know.
You're like, I was there.
Yeah, we were all there. Don't do it ever again.
I was looking back at that case study and I was like, my part of that case study isn't as bad as I remember. Like, I would genuinely put that in my portfolio because of my pages.
Mm-hmm.
Would I like to delete 2 out of 3 of the people out of the case study? Yes, I really would.
I'm so glad that I took the super easy, kind of boring version of that class. Yeah. And didn't have to do the group project. Like, yeah,
you're lucky.
That class really frustrated me because I was like, how is somebody in the capstone class using Comic Sans?
No.
There was just like, I felt like, except for like the people that I knew designed well, I was like, I'm sitting in a room full of people who don't care about their career. That's the kindest way I could have phrased that. Could have called, I wanted people names. But like,
I looked at the class
discussion board so I could make fun of them later. That's how it was.
I
all done that as a TA.
That's a really rude thing, I know, but you didn't see it. It was insane.
It's 1, the Facebook group, and 2, you can look at the class roster on Canvas,
Mhm.
And being a TA for as long as I've been, I've watched the people in the class go through.
Mhm.
Oh, and they're beta testing something this semester with 462.
So it's a lot of like potential problems.
Oh,
that you
there's
think, "Oh, that could be a thing. That could be a
yep,
thing."
because
That-
there's a practicum now
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
where they have to help with your group project.
James
Mhm.
Rognan was telling us about that at your wedding
Yeah.
reception.
We got to chat with him at the wedding.
I am very not okay with it. I have enough people to worry about in a group.
Mhm.
It's I should have just taken it last semester, honestly, looking at like
Instead of having to take it like 4 times, basically. Yeah.
well,
I
and there's
was,
they're putting us in a they're making people in a practicum care as much about the project as people doing their capstone wanting to graduate.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
But
as
to be
somebody
fair,
who's
no matter how that class turns out, like our case study for my project, I felt like looked really good. It was really polished. I was really proud of it. I was like, okay, this was like a living hell of a semester, but I was like happy at my work. And then one fell swoop and a certain contracted individual decided to back out, and suddenly our entire project was like for nothing. Like we don't have like the finished product of like a published illustrated book with all of the branding elements
Yeah.
framed it around because one individual decided to ghost us.
I'm really
yeah,
like,
exactly.
my thing was like the version I took was like, I know how to do all of this stuff. There was a little
Yeah.
that was a little bit of me being pretentious because there was stuff of like, I've never made an infographic before, and it was really fun to make an infographic because it was about something I cared about and stuff. But like the woe of like that class was like nobody was prepared, nobody faced any consequence. People graduated unprepared because of that. Like they graduated using Comic Sans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and now it's way harder, way stricter. So that doesn't happen. There's people who shouldn't graduate from that class don't now. But I don't like group projects. So I'm really glad I didn't do that.
mean, here's the thing. I respect the professors with everything in me. And I think that I believe that they know what they're doing, but I wish that it would stop happening in semesters where I'm trying to graduate.
Yeah. Well, here's the actual thing. Because they're like that baseline class of like what I took, how I took it before they adapted it and then adapted it a bunch of times. It's really because the students are underperforming, and it's like, how do we make them perform? You know what I mean? And it isn't as necessary for somebody who is already like intrinsically motivated to, such as ourselves, who are making a video twice a week to talk about what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very different and kind of frustrating process for us to be like, why do I have to go through all of these hoops? I get why they have to go through hoops, because there's a lot of people who maybe aren't putting forth the right effort and therefore aren't learning enough, right?
Yeah.
No, and it's all about like, how do we get the students to be successful? And so I get that. But it was very frustrating still going through it.
No, exactly. That's the thing. Like, if they could just implement this next semester, that'd be great. But like, no, of course, I'm in there this semester that they make the practicum where people don't know what they're getting into, and then they're signing up for this practicum, and like it adds 20 more people. It doesn't actually add 20 more people. I don't remember how many, but it adds a bunch of people to the class. Yeah. Anyways, it's part of my organized stress right now.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Well, yeah, half hour into this. We are so chatty today because we haven't seen each other in a while.
Nobody has seen me since my wedding.
Tangenty.
Yeah, they haven't seen me since my wedding. The only thing I've talked to them about is my dog that we're buying. Mm-hmm. Getting organized, because for these two, they're done with school. But for me, I'm not. It's very... So basically, I'm taking 4 classes. I'm retaking one for fun. I'm taking professional presentations again. So that class will be easy.
That's not fun.
Who are you taking it from?
Embry.
He's a sweetheart.
I love him so much. I know that you TA'd for him, but that's who I took it from.
You TA'd for Embry?
No, I said I know you did, right?
Me? I TA'd for Hacky.
Oh, I thought you TA'd for
Brother
Embry.
Embry is the sweetest soul.
I literally love both the Embrys. I had Lori Embry as my teacher my first semester of school at BYU, Idaho, and I loved her. She doesn't teach there anymore. And then Brother Embry is like a saint too. Like, oh, we love
wonderful. I think I took that class from it, and then organizational communication.
Mm-hmm. Such a good person.
I just don't know why you're taking that for fun. I know why you are, but I don't relate to that.
Oh, I love that class.
Just, I know why you are.
Yeah, I know
You're like I know,
that,
but I can't relate.
Yeah,
I did public speaking for 7 years.
I just don't get it.
I did public speaking for 7 years.
Yeah.
It's an easy class for me. It's,
it's not for me.
It's not homework.
It's too much.
The homework isn't really homework. It's just prepare for a speech, and I can do that because I've been doing that for 7 years. And
I literally got chill shivers. I don't like it.
It doesn't really bother me.
People, like, I can do it. It's just that, like, I have like unhealthy amounts of adrenaline pumping through my veins for the next hour.
No, I like it.
There's a really long cool down period for me.
It's like the one time when I'm public speaking, my thoughts are so like concise and controlled that it's like the one time where my brain functions.
I can't. That's not what happens to me.
Yeah, but it's like 4 or 5 speeches. Anyways, it's easy enough that like it won't kill me while I'm taking this other class. And then I'm taking a PR class, and my schedule's a mess. And I'm taking this one class that doesn't have a syllabus. We're waiting for an email from maybe it has a syllabus. I haven't seen it if it does. We're waiting for an email from the professor on how to proceed with this semester. So
it's fun.
Yeah. But the reason my topic was get organized is because I got a planner last semester. I don't remember if anybody remembers this. This was a big moment for me because previous counselors have told me that me getting a planner would be a really bad idea, when my current counsel was like, what the heck? Anyways, so I saw, where is it? Oh, you can see where the 18 days starts because it just says daily report for the next 21 days. And so I was looking at it and I was like, crap, I need tips and advice from anybody and everybody about how to stay organized during a hectic semester. I don't have a job, specifically because I knew that this semester was going to be rough. But
my first advice is clean the house.
Okay.
Like my brain, if there's like, this is how I am with a planner. If I have some nasty planner with flowers all over it, I can't use it because it's cluttered.
Okay.
And my desk space is the same way. My living space is the same way. Like, I can't concentrate on a project if I'm sitting on the couch, and the kitchen, which is right next to the living room, is an absolute mess.
Organize like one part of your life, and it connects.
It's
okay.
A lot.
Like Tim occupies this desk that I'm at now, and it's like there's like manageable mess. Like, my desk at work is kind of messy, but it doesn't matter because like the desktop on my computer is organized or whatever. Like, there's this manageable mess.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's a manageable mess that Tim made that I didn't, I don't want to be at this desk right now. Like, I just kind of come here to do art check because it's got all the like my computer plug-in and charger is here and stuff. But like, if I were to sit down and be like, I'm gonna work in the office, I would need to clean it all first because
Okay.
it's got Tim's manageable mess in it, not mine. And so it helps a lot to just have a clean space because you don't have to. I don't know how to describe it, but if there's clutter around you, then you have a clutter in your brain.
Okay.
It feels bad. I hate it.
Yeah, no, I get that. Like when we got back, the first thing that I said is we're hanging up everything in the office
Mm-hmm.
because the office was just covered in our wedding decorations because they were bought to be used in the office, but it was so much crap and nothing was put
stressful.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he hadn't even had the chance to move in. So when we got home from our honeymoon, he just had suitcases of stuff in our hallway. And so it's been like, oh crap. Yeah, the semester has now started. And we need to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay, get clean, get organized. Get
Yeah.
clean your house.
Clean your house. Do like weekly chores, like Sunday we clean the house, and it feels so good to be in my house on Sundays.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it just feels good. Yeah. Cleaning isn't great, but it feels good to be somewhere clean. So
That's fair.
that's what I would say. That's like the really big thing that like stresses me out, and then I can't do anything.
I would ask Kylie's kind of frozen.
She's freezing every now and then.
I know. Can you guys hear me better now?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay,
Yeah.
I came out by my internet router because I noticed like you guys were like only speaking every second, and I was like, oh no.
You're like, shoot.
I found one of my planners. Unfortunately, I could only find the one that was my last semester when I did not have a lot of classes, but I can at least show you like what I did. So I always come up with, this is something that works for me. It won't work for everyone. One thing I do like that I did during my more busy semesters is I color coded. I had a color of highlighter that corresponded to every class or job that I was like taking or had, so that I could like glance at the day and be like, oh, I see orange. That means a lot is due in this class that day. Or, oh, I have green. That means I'm working that day, these hours, you know? And it made it easier to like, instead of writing like this class dash this assignment, I could just have an assignment and then highlight the color of class, if that made sense.
That's smart.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out a way to do that because like I'd never even thought about highlighters, but I was like, I don't have this many colors of pens, and I'm not always gonna have the pens on
And I
me.
would do either pens or highlighters depending on the
I think the
semester.
highlighter, yeah, the highlighter
Yeah,
thing.
but
What I loved was those twistable colored pencils. You know what I'm
oh
talking
yeah, those are
Oh.
great too. And you can even like underline with them if you still prefer pen or pencil to write with. But then I also like, if I had an event that day, let me see if I can like try and show you. It'd be kind of tricky. But this is like one of the days in my planner. Once again, not a lot of stuff happening. But if there was like an event happening that day, then it was a circle. And then if it was like an assignment or a to-do list, it was a square. And so like I took headshots for someone for my internship. And so it was a circle, and then I crossed it out. And then I had to grade photojournalism projects, and that was a square. And apparently I never got that done. But that's what I would always do, because for me, organization is literally the only way I can function. Like I was born making lists. I'm a list maker, 1,000,000,000%. And so it's my mom and my sister and I that are all like this. So like if I'm ever stressed, my mom's like, go get a pen and paper. And like I just like make lists, and it helps me kind of get everything out of my brain. And it just helps me stay more organized, I feel like. And so for me, like writing down every assignment, like at the beginning of the week or whenever I got, or like if I had my planner in class, like the first few days of class, and they were talking about projects in the future or field trips or whatever I had to be prepared for, I'd put it in my planner. And then a huge thing for me is checking things off. Like it helps me stay organized and motivated. And so that's why I always did like little boxes, which you can cross things out too. But I don't know. I like checking boxes better.
The planner that I have, let me see if I can even, it comes with like the little because I like checking it off. It comes with little boxes.
Yeah, this
Target.
one has like a section that had, oh, I don't even know where. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
there. Yeah, Target is where I got mine too. Good place for planners.
I used to get them there, and now I get this one specific, like, Swiss one or something.
Oh,
online.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where. It's from somewhere in Europe, for sure.
Yeah.
But well, I was gonna say something. Oh, something that I do at work is I use Post-it notes, like the little baby ones. And so I work Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And Mondays and Wednesdays, I have no idea what I was working on the last time I was at work. So I write like a note to myself of like where I've left off. The other thing that I do, because I don't work full time and I can't trust myself to have done what current me thought past me should have done, is I think ahead of like, is future me gonna think that I did this? And if I did it, then I do it. So like, for example, sometimes I get sent a picture of a product and it goes into the catalog, and there's spreadsheets full of like the listings, and it'll say if there's a picture there, and it'll say the name of the picture. So it's not enough for me to just receive that picture because future me
put it on the
thought that I
Post-it.
took care of it and put it in the right folder, named it the correct thing, made sure that, you know, the product was facing in the right direction. So like I do all those things of like, this is boring, I don't want to do this, but I know that I am going to think that I did this. So I do those like tiny things that annoy me. I just take care of them right away so that when it comes time to, I actually need this thing, I'm not lost and I'm not like looking for this one JPEG in thousands of them, you know? Yeah.
And something you said is something that, so I get ADHD paralysis really, really bad, and also just anxiety in general. So like, if I have a lot on my to-do list, I don't do anything. Like I can't function. I shut down big time. And so, there's this thing that I see a lot from like therapists that say like, if anything takes less than 2 minutes to do it right away, you know, because like you can find the time to do it. So like I'll get like that if my house is really messy, if I'm like, okay, it will literally take me 2 minutes to like put the dirty clothes in the hamper. I can do that right now, you know, and like just tip it away. And my mom kind of says something similar because my anxiety and ADHD like just freaks out together. And so for me, it's like, take baby steps, like, and I think that's important. That's why, like, when I write a to-do list of like assignments, I don't write like this huge daunting assignment. I write like sketches, the discussion board. Like I write every single step, because then it's like, oh, that one is going to take me like, you know, just 5 minutes to do. And then I can check it off, you know? And so for me, it really helps to break things down as tiny, and it doesn't work for everyone, but for me, I need to break them down as small as they'll go. Cause then I'm like, oh, piece of cake. Like it's way easier to do 80 tiny things than like 3 really big daunting things, like in my mind.
Yeah. And so like I have like this back and forth of this, because there was this like lesson, this object lesson of like, you have a jar, put the like medium-sized rocks in this jar, and then you fill it in with sand. And the amount of sand and the amount of rocks, you use it all up, it fills up the jar completely. But if you separate it out, you put the sand in first, the first time, and then, or, you know, you put it in first, whatever, and then you put in all the big rocks, it doesn't fit. And so like I keep that like I want to do the small things, and so I save the small things for when my brain is like, I can't do the big things today. But when my brain is like, I am willing to work, I'm going to do it, you know, that's when I go, all right, do the big stuff, because you'll probably fit more into your day if you take care, if you knock out the stuff you don't want to do, but you're pumped today, let's do it, you know? So let's like knock out the stuff that needs to be done. It's bigger. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Do those like pain in the butt things first, and then and sometimes maybe it's not like bigger, because again, like Kylie said, you can split them up into tiny things and like turn it into, and then you got the same thing done. You just split it up. But like the pain in the butt stuff that you don't want to do first, Like if you're in the mental state to be like, no, I can do this, do it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
And then that way you're kind of saving the tiny things for when you don't want to do the big things.
Yeah. So what about like organization on like a group project?
Trello?
Because I've seen
Good. Have you used Trello?
Did Kerr use that for
Yes.
his animation?
Yeah.
I've seen it
right now on multiple projects. So I'm using it on the animation with Kerr, but I'm also using it on my secret project. I have 2 Trello boards on my secret project, and I'm using Trello on the catalog right now.
Okay.
I didn't realize how untapped it was, of like there's so much you can do with it, and it's free. So one thing was like you can use it like a writer's room, where like,
can you share it with people? Because you said you're using it with Kerr.
Share it, yeah. You can use it like a writer's room where there's like a board of like ideas, and then you can move the ideas around. So like the way you could imagine like in a physical space, maybe you have a giant whiteboard like in a classroom and a ton of index cards of ideas, and you can move them to, this is the finished box, I'm moving it over here. Or even if it's not in the terms of like project management, but like creativity.
I've totally used this too.
It's amazing.
You use Trello?
It's
I've
amazing.
used it in a class before.
It's really good for creative like ideation too, because you can be like tabled ideas, and then you can be like, actually no, there's space for this now. You can just move it like you would move an index card. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and
okay.
So,
and it's on your phone?
It's on your phone. It's on the internet too.
Okay.
I have like 2 web pages open. Like I have 2 tabs open right now with Trello. Yeah, like it's actually really great. And once I feel like the most common thing is like, it's not done yet, I'm working on it now, and it's complete columns. But yeah, without like really explaining what my secret project is, it's really helping just like outline everything. It's really great for building just a structural way to like put ideas in boxes.
Okay.
So it's very nice and helpful. I can show you my Trello board after this is over.
I think I remember, because when Kerr was making his Put Your Heart Into It animation, I watched his stuff a lot. I don't know if he's watching right now, or if sometimes he watches these back. But I think it was Trello that he used.
Yeah, I mean, we're using Trello.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar, but
it's very nice. It's very nice. So they send you a lot of unnecessary emails, but it's very nice. So
one other thing I would mention, this is pretty much all I have to say on group organization, because I'm horrible at it. And also the thing that I'm going to tell you is something I am horrible at. But I think something that's really important is delegating.
I knew that's what you were gonna say.
I'm so mad. And you and I both struggled with that.
I know, we're so bad at it.
We're bad at it. And it's like I talked to James Rognan about this, probably like accumulation of like maybe 20 hours the semester that I was in 462, because I was also his TA. And I would just sit there talking to him, and I had some problems with my group, as we both did. And I would just talk to him about the problems. He's like, Kylie, you can't fix it. Like, you can't do everything. You can't like be like micromanage, like, which is like always like horrible bosses micromanage. And I was totally that person, but it's because I'm a huge perfectionist. And I feel like if something is going to have my name on it, I need to make sure everything's done right. And also something I struggle with is like, people would sometimes want to do things a different way, and it wasn't necessarily a bad way. It was just the way I didn't want to do it. Like,
I hate that about group projects.
Yeah, with the study guide, like I had such a cool idea that I thought the branding was so cool. I mean, not the study guide, the case study. I was like, this is gonna be so cool. And then one of my really close friends, who was also on the visual team, she had a totally different idea, and I was like, I don't like this at all. But at the same time, like James Rognan just had to keep reminding me, like, Kylie, you are not you are the project manager. Well, hello.
Hello.
He'd be like, Kylie, you are the project manager, but like, you know, this isn't all up to you. Like you can't just take control of everything. Like you have to have some level of trust with your group members. And I was like, I know, because I know I'm not the best at everything.
I don't trust them.
Yeah, but and there were enough times that semester that like I did have trust with my group members, and it burned me, you know, like I thought they would get stuff done, and then they didn't. So it is hard, but then I had to like, he had to keep reminding me like, okay, well, that's on them. Like, that's not going to be a part of your grade. You tried your best, you know?
Yeah.
And so for me, a huge thing was like trying to take a step back. And with that girl, we ended up kind of going with her case study. We showed it to the class. She got feedback, which is like the same feedback I would have given her, you know, like it was like a little bland and things. And then our case study that she ended up being the main designer of looked amazing, like way better than something I could create, you know? And if I had like micromanaged it, it would have stayed in like this little bubble of like what I thought it could be. And it ended up way better, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think a huge thing is just trusting and like realizing that you don't have to manage everything, you know?
Yeah. Like this creative project is not you.
Mm-hmm.
And it is not the ultimate display of your prowess. You know what I mean? Like, it is not the end all be all. If you didn't like it, that's fine. You know, you worked on it. You got what you were supposed to get out of it, which is a grade, right? But if it wasn't like creatively your baby and it didn't feel like something you made, well, that's fine, because a ton of people worked on it. And so like, if you didn't like it, then you can always be like, well, I'm going to make something like this, except the way I wanted to do it. And you can just do that later. You know what I mean? Like, it was really funny because for vector graphics, we used to make a t-shirt, and people were like, oh, I really wish I could have done a t-shirt in that class. Now I'm never going to make a t-shirt. And he's like, what are you talking about? Just make a t-shirt.
Yeah.
You could just make a t-shirt. And so like your school projects are not, you you know what I mean? And so like, it's okay if you don't like it. It's okay if somebody picked something and it doesn't feel that way, and it's super frustrating because I'm telling myself this even though like still not great when that happens, but like
you're like, even though I know that what I'm saying,
I know that I get frustrated when the exact same thing happens to me. But yeah, and then something for like project management of like making sure people, when it has been delegated, that the people actually follow through on what they said they were going to follow through on. Just be a squeaky wheel. Just be like, or be like very obvious paper trail. Like, so you are going to be delivering X, Y, and Z by this day at this time, correct?
Obvious paper trail.
Yep. And then they were like, all right. And then like halfway through, you know, half of the time has passed between when you set the deadline and when the deadline's due, and just be like, I just wanted to check in, see if what you've accomplished. Don't forget that blah, blah, blah. Like, do the very obvious paper trail of like, they know that if they messed up, it was not your fault, and there's no way that they can pin it on you. And that when something does hit the fan, you can be like, hey, what happened to the thing that I asked you about and you said yes to? You know what I mean? And that's the best you can do. And until, you know, and then from there, I guess it goes, all right, well, how are we going to delegate this again to somebody else? Right. But
yeah, that's my fear. And that's why I'm like not excited about the fact that they're integrating this practicum. It's because like I've done the class twice. I've been a TA. So I've sat through that class 3 times.
You know what mistakes people make.
I've seen everything go wrong.
Yeah.
I've not seen anything go right.
Yeah. But the good news is that I've learned the warning signs.
But one thing that I've learned is that the bigger the group, the more disaster-filled it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so the fact that there's going to be like, I think like 20-something students now, I'm like dying inside. Mm-hmm. So, because even in my group of 5 people for the children's book, we had major problems.
Mm-hmm.
And Kylie, this is no offense, but your group was a mess.
It was.
offense to that. Like, that's all we talk about when we talk about
I know, but I feel bad because like she was project manager and I was and we just had so many. That's when Kylie and I became friends.
Yeah, we bonded.
Was oh my god. But yeah, it's one of those things where like the fact that like they're adding these other people to the class is like giving me anxiety attacks. Yeah, which I mean, they have the same prereqs as us and everything, but it's a 1 credit class versus a 3 credit class. And it's, yeah, I don't know. It freaks me out a lot. And so that's why I was like, organization would be a great topic for me.
I think a good thing to think about is, just go under the assumption that they're signing up for 1 credit of work. And so the people who are doing 1 credit of work get 1 credit of work.
I
So
would
just
give
split up
them
a lot of
something
different
that's
ways, What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, this is what they recommended to me for when we had people wanting to join our project, like in 462, this is what the professor said. And it's like, give them something that would add to the project and make it great, but it's not dependent on whether or not it was 400 hours,
I was going to say that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So we had people contact us saying they were interested. And we're like, okay, we need help animating some of the illustrations so that we could add that, like make GIFs, and that would be really cool, but it wasn't a core part of like our project, it was like, if it didn't happen, we would still have 400 hours of work. And so that's what I recommend for like anyone that is in the practicum, like give them stuff that would be really, really cool. And then if it happens, great, but like don't plan on
into the world. And, I mean, if you know somebody in your group has underperformed in the past, then you can also base what you're giving them off of that. Or like if they're really passionate about something, I mean, like give them that chance, right? They're taking the class too, but you could always buddy them up with somebody.
This is if I become project manager.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still a group discussion to be had amongst all of you. So,
yeah, no, I just have a lot of anxiety surrounding this class.
It's scary and stressful, and
it's scary and stressful, and of course, I'm taking it a semester where it changes, and
there's
my college career wouldn't have it any other way.
A new variable, yeah,
exactly. I've like watched the class 3 times, and I'm like, okay, like I think I got it. I'm not gonna have anxiety attacks day 1, and then I found out that it was changing, and I was like, I'm having an anxiety attack day -1. Like this is I am not even like the class hasn't even started and I've had like 2 anxiety attacks today about it. So
I think I don't know if this is gonna help or make it worse, but in my head it would help. You've seen this story unfold with a different cast like 4 times.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna happen. You know exactly what's going to happen, and you know how to.
Because you're the only one that's like retaking it. Like everyone else is.
Those new variables are not going to change. That those patterns will still emerge.
Like expect to fail.
It's going to be the same. It's just a new cast, and it's like it's set in this decade instead of this decade, but it's the same story. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what happened. You know
what I know. But like that's what you can expect of people. That's like you know that there are
people exactly.
And they're still like good people. They're just going through the experience for the first time, And so I say that like it's hard, and a lot of them have different backgrounds. Some of them do not have as much visual background and things. And so I would 100% say like just like what I wish I had gone into 462 with was like not expecting everything to work out, like expecting a lot of crap to hit the fan and expecting to fail. In fact, that's what I told all of the professors. I'm like, you're telling me this happens every semester, but you led me to believe it would be perfect. I was like, this is not fair. And they were like, yeah. And so I'm just like, I just wish.
They just go, and they make that noise. They go,
Man. You're like, and so you just have to like, you know better. Like when they sit up there and they're like, you guys could do amazing things and it could turn out so perfect. Like it will, like it really could, but like know that things are going to not happen the way you want them to be. And just meditate on that. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
come
and
to
it's
terms with
definitely
that.
like that class is like a shoot for the moon, hit the stars type
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Totally.
And so they pump people up, they get people excited so that they have some steam to get them through the
Yeah,
first
and to be
few
honest,
weeks
if they
kind of-
didn't pump people up,
yeah.
it would like be shoot for the stars, hit like New Mexico. Like it
fall.
wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
The nice thing is like I said, I got to look at like some of the roster because like Canvas lets you see it, which I guess
Yeah.
I don't know if iLearn let you, but Canvas does. Like you can just hit
Mhm.
people and then you can like go through and be
Yeah.
like, oh, this is who I'm in the class with.
Mhm.
And there are quite a few people in there where I'm like, thank God, please be on my team.
Please.
Thank you. Please. I will just please. And then
Just get there early, and then every time somebody like passes through the door, be like, "Oh my gosh, dude, come sit next to me!" And then
Mhm.
during the night, you just chat with them of like,
Mhm.
"Oh, that'd be so cool!" And then just do anything you can to get into the group with like the most of those people. Be like, "Oh, you mean you like this instead? Let's do that." Oh,
Then
yeah.
again, you never know. Like if you end up not with the people that you want to be, like I
Mhm.
thought I ended up with, for the most part, great people on my team. And I did.
you're missing a
But there were
key
people
element.
that I thought were going to be the absolute like biggest assets to my team. Two particular individuals, like one I was pretty
I know
sure
what
was
you're
going to
talking
not be. Yeah, one I
What'd
was
you say?
pretty sure.
I just know I know what she's talking.
She
about.
knows
yeah.
exactly who I'm.
Yeah,
You
and
guys
I
both
remember
know who I'm referring to.
kind of.
Oh my
one
God, you
person-
were the TA.
Yeah.
There was one
You
person that I was
totally
like,
watched it all crash and burn.
You have to understand that like I mostly just hung out there and
yeah.
just like
Bro,
the teachers.
assignments
I
were so
forgot
tiny.
that you experienced this with us.
Yeah, but on the other side, man, I experienced.
Yeah, it's not as. But there's
Little
there was one
baby.
person in my group that I was like, okay, I don't think this person's going to be a big asset. Like you could tell from the get-go that they were not very invested in the
Mhm.
class. And I think you guys know who I'm talking about. But then there was like 1.5, like one person I didn't know exactly where they were going to go. One person I was like, they're going to be a huge asset, you know, and stuff. And in the end, it was me and these two people that I thought were probably on the same level as me that were like pulling the boat, and like these other 3 people like
Yeah.
fell off and like were not helping, you know? And so like, even though there might be people that are really good and you've seen them turn out really in the past, you never know. They might
Yeah.
leave you behind. So just
Yeah.
be,
in a group.
sometimes it's the underdogs you want anyway.
Yeah, that's the hope. And it's just like, yeah, like I watched, because my group was like my group was 5 people, and it was like one person, 2 people that I really wanted, and then 2 people that I was like, okay. And I think my biggest fear is like when people think that the project is done, but it's so far from done.
And they act
And
like
how to
they start slowing down.
Yeah. Yeah, because like everything is organized, and so you're like, okay, cool. But like, I don't know, maybe I'll try and convince my group that we should use Trello, because
Have them done with every single asset a month before the project's due. That was the best thing I did for my group. And like,
did you guys really hit that?
No, we
Okay.
didn't. But if we didn't hit it, nothing would have been done on time before the due date. But since we hit it a month before and people were still 2 weeks late, at least, like some like literally didn't finish anything anyway. But like it helped us so much, you know, like just so much, because then we could like the 3 of us that actually did everything on time were done by that 1 month deadline. And so we started like figuring out the case study and started realizing that there were people that hadn't done anything they promised they were going to do. So we had like time for like damage control, you know? And so I really am so glad we did. And I thought it was excessive. I'm like, a month, that's a lot. But like, I'm so glad we did a whole month.
Not where when they're paying to do the work.
Yeah.
Also with Trello, you can color code things. So on Kerr's project with me, like everything that is my responsibility that I'm going to be doing, it's magenta. So like it's when I've completed something, you can see it immediately. So you can see who's underperforming and who's overperforming.
Oh, that is so
Trello, if
awesome.
you set it up correctly. If you label it, you know.
Yeah.
That would be really nice.
Kylie, I don't know how you said, because I think you said like I have to leave right at 8:30 and it's 8:54.
Yeah, well, I have to work early tomorrow, but I also took a nap on accident today, so
Heyo.
should have gone to bed earlier. And I'm also working on editing photos, so it's easier.
Yeah.
Like it's good.
Yeah. But with that, thank you guys for that. I wish
You
I
didn't
could
know
say
you were
it.
gonna get such an earful, huh? From
No, I wanted it. I thought it would help with the anxiety.
oh,
I
no.
just feel like I'm gonna throw up right now.
I'm
And-
so sorry.
It's okay. It's not your fault. It's the slap in the face that I needed before it. I needed it because it was gonna happen tomorrow in class, and I was just gonna start crying, and I'm not going to now. So
You're
we're
mentally
good.
prepared now.
I'm happy
that's
to make
an
your heart
overstatement.
cry
Just
24
like-
hours in advance.
Just
Thank you.
breathe, because there is a comfort in certain things being out of your hands, because that means you don't have to do it, and that means you don't have to worry about it. And when something's out of your hands, you can say what you think needs to be said, but it's out of your hands, so you don't have to do it, and it's not your fault. You know what I mean? So that's the best like comfort advice I can give in a group project situation.
Yeah,
Is that like when something is out of your hands, it is not worth the brain space in your head. It's not worth it, because you don't have any control over it. So you can offer your 2 cents to that person, whatever. Then hands off. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So when somebody else in your group is struggling and then it's been redelegated, you don't need to worry about it anymore unless you're like sending out a reminder. Worry about it then. But it takes 5 minutes to write that email. So just delegate. When is it useful for me to freak out about this? Now? All right, let's freak out and let's do something with the freak outness, right? Like let's motivate with stress, I guess, because that's effective sometimes. But then there's the unhealthy stress of like, you worrying about something that you have no business, no need, no effectiveness of worrying
Me worrying right now.
Yeah, like right now there's no good coming.
It's like
from
that
it.
quote of like worrying means you suffer twice. Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
what if it's great? What if it's the first time in 462 that there's not a single problem and you all get hired? So we're just kidding, but you know.
But what you can do right now is you could go watch Iron Man and try to think about it, you know?
Emily's like, go watch your comfort movie.
Do comfort food, comfort movie, comfort video games to take your mind off of stuff when, like, check all the things off the list and then stop thinking about it because it's not worth it. And if you can't stop thinking about it, try to do something that's going to distract you. And try to engage that forgetfulness of, like, making you do something you like, you know?
Yeah. I think that this class would be a lot more bearable if the group project wasn't a thing. But I know why it is.
Group projects are like the worst thing in the world in school. It's amazing at work because you're like, oh, you're taking care of this? Sick.
You have to like pass a test to get into this class.
I know. Well, the real problem is here's how it would work. If people got paid, they would do really well. Because if they sucked, they wouldn't get paid. And but they're paying to suck or do well. It's the same price.
They're just paying to pass.
Yeah, exactly.
And that doesn't work for me.
That's why school projects are always going to suck to some degree, even if it's great. But at work, man, it's like, oh, you mean that you're, oh, thank you. Here, can you do this? Oh, thank you.
It's great interview content. Like now, I know exactly how to answer the question that comes in every interview I've had in the past 5 years, which is, tell me about a time you were working in a group and there was conflict and how you resolved it. And stuff like that. You know, I'm like, oh, sit down. Let me tell you.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Like, let me tell you about the 14 weeks of hell I went through. As they watched and just let me burn.
I mean, honestly, I would, there's certain points where you should just try to do things that make you happy. You should set a limit of like, hey, on paper, I've done everything. Let's do something that makes me happy. You know what I mean? Like carve in.
Definitely
to make
self-care.
Yeah. Force yourself to be like, hey, you guys stop this now. And I know how to make you stop thinking about this. It's Puppy, you know, it's Iron Man. It's going to, I don't know, eat this food you love. You know what I mean? So like schedule in those things too. It'll make you
Okay.
feel better.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And good
All right.
luck to you.
Thanks.
That's it.
Thank you.
You want to now.
Yeah, thanks. So if you want to find my stuff, go to @thecomeback_KLD. That's where it is on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to go find Emily's stuff, go to @Guminelli. As I said before, her name isn't even Emily, it's just Guminelli. Look on the Google and type it in this way and she'll show up.
And it'll work.
And it's magic.
It'll
The
do
internet.
something.
The internet. The new invention of 2021. It's so magical. If you want to find Kylie's stuff, go to @pedals.inc_. There are no links in the description below because I forgot. And that means that you're going to have to listen to the stuff that I just said like 2 minutes ago and go find us.
You're going to have to follow right now, I guess.
Yeah, you have to follow right now. Also, like this video, dislike this video, comment on this video. I don't care, but engage with it, please, because we need it.
Yeah.
Because it helps our videos do better and actually get seen, and then and smash the notification bell. And I think that's everything that YouTubers say nowadays. Yeah. Anything else? Oh, tonight at 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, in 1 hour, and 59 minutes, there's a show. It's called IRS Agency. It's the Indie Review Show. I tagged them. I don't think that they have a Twitter. Otherwise, I definitely messed up on my Twitter tagging. But I tagged the two people that host the show. Yeah, it's like @IRS Agency. I tagged them. Go to I posted that we were live on my Twitter, and then in the comment of that, I commented that there was the link to their channel. Go find them. IRS Agency. Type in irsagency.com. Go check them out. Like we said, in 58 minutes, they go live, and they are talking about a thing that I remembered the name of, and my brain is racing now, so I don't.
Right? They're talking about East of West today?
Yes. Because don't you read that one?
I own it, yeah.
Yeah, East of West. That's what that's what they are talking about. So go check it out. That all being said, I almost hit the wrong red button. Thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you on Wednesday.